Hello and welcome everyone to the Warhammer Meta Chasers. This is your weekly tournament rundown show for Warhammer 40,000, covering the biggest and best events all over the world. My name is Paul, your host. I'm joined by Adam Camilleri.
Good day, everybody.
And Dustin Henshaw. And of course, you lovely folks in the chat, Sindri, Nurgle, Matt, Erwin, KR. Good to see everybody. Dorian, how are y'all doing? Plus anybody else that might be checking us out as well. We do this live each and every Thursday night at 9 p.m. Eastern time. Let's get to it because we have not one, not two, not three, but four events we're going to be covering for you in this show. It is jam and action packed. How are y'all doing this evening?
Pretty good, except that Dustin out-g'dayed me, and I'm still not over it.
Good news.
But we have so this week we love doing weeks like this week where we do 4 events because this is a completionist journey of the international meta. We have events from the United States, Canada, New Zealand, and Italy this week. So all the little pockets are getting their little magnifying glass, and we love to do it.
A little bit Warhammer all over the place. So we got the Scorched Earth Open, the Berry Bash, the Warp Wars, and the Italia Royal Rumble. So yeah, you're not getting bouncing all over the globe.
Exactly right. And now so we don't have any major, we don't have any like super majors this week, but we do. It was just a gift that we get to have like 4 near 100 player events to stack up for your viewing pleasure.
Well, let's go ahead and jump into it. First event we're going to be covering is the Scorched Earth Open from Phoenix, Arizona, 92 player 6-round event. Meta has been pretty spectacular, but we've had some releases, happen. So is that going to change what we've been seeing the last few weeks?
Definitely is here. Dustin, are you muted? Did you fix that?
I don't know. Am I muted? I changed something, so maybe I'm. Does that mean everybody missed me out-g'daying Adam? I'm very depressed.
That would be fantastic.
I am very depressed.
No.
I thought I was going to have to go in and edit it out.
Oh, now I'm sad.
Look at that. The hand of fate has saved you.
I'm sad.
The hand of
please,
fate has saved you.
Please confirm or deny in chat if you can hear it.
There we go.
No longer muted. Sweet. Send it, Dustin.
I'm so sad. I can't now. Now I'm sad. All right, we'll try. I'll try. Imperial super faction. There are 2 Sisters of Battle, 6 Custodes, 7 Astra Militarum, and 1 Imperial Knight. Space Marines, there's 1 Adeptus Astartes, 3 Dark Angels, 1 Space Wolf, 5 Blood Angels, 4 Black Templar, and a Death Watch. Chaos, there's 4 Chaos Space Marines, 4 T-Suns, 2 Death Guard, 4 World Leaders, 5 Demons, and 2 Chaos Knights. Xenos, there's 5 Necrons, 6 Orcs, 6 Tau, and 1 Votan. Highbind, there's 4 Tyranids, 2 Genius of the Cult, and Eldari, there is 9 Eldari. In the faction podium is Eldari, topping it off with 9. Astra Militarum in second with 7. Those
I mentioned a couple of new releases.
Well. Yeah, I wonder what 2 they are. Can anybody take a guess? Those ones? And then Orcs, Tau, and Custodes tied for 3rd with 6. That's interesting.
Yes, it is. It is not bad once you get to that. Of course, the first 2, no surprises whatsoever. They're the 2 latest releases, the hotness, and arguably the 2 best armies in the game at the moment, or at least 2 of the top 3 or top 4, depending on how you want to cut it. But then, Orcs, Tau, and Custodes. Tau and Custodes. Custodes have been like up and down week by week. I think it's more just a lot of the terrain and a lot of the nuances of the mission pack and stuff can really affect Custodes outcomes, depending, especially if you want to go in on that solar spearhead. But Tau is the interesting one there. Tau numbers have been relatively low the world over for the last couple of months, so I'm really happy to see them back up there.
A lot of Tau onesie twosies, around, as folks develop. But again, I think that Tau, they have all those weapon options, and so if you can kind of pick what the right suit to weapon combination is based on your information that you have, maybe that attracts more Tau players back to it. I know that some crew builds have also been kind of creeping up a bit.
Well, people have been saying that Tau has a relatively decent game into Eldar. Now, one of the issues that they had was playing into a lot of the guard lists. They would just get kind of mauled. They would just get kind of bullied by the guard lists. But the injection of Eldar has caused a lot of the guard lists to either go all in on tanks in the Emperor's Hammer of the Emperor list, or completely eschew all the tanks entirely and just play a mass infantry bridgehead. Now, both of those are good for Tau. Either way you cut it, like they can pivot into whichever one of those they need. Oh, cool. You think Hammer of the Emperor is going to be the big one there? Well, cool. Sky Rays, Hammerheads, fusion suits. Oh, it's going to be the infantry build, crisis teams, breacher teams. Off we go. And then into Eldar, a lot of people are taking a lot of their big big heavy hitters out of their lists, because the downshot of 5 fire dragons killing your Rogel Dawn, your Canis Rex, is just a bit too, let's not let that happen. So let's take those things out. And those are the things that were really punishing Tau. So they're being freed up a little bit in what they can take, and the things that are relevant now for them inside their kind of internal meta builds.
I played against a heavy infantry Astra Militarum list this past weekend, and it scored a lot of points, made it difficult to plow into when you had a bunch of heavy hitting single shot weapons. It's a great build. I would expect to see things like that start to creep up.
Like straight up, I used to play against Tau players with 2 or 3 tank commanders, and I would just run them at them. And like, sick, you want to bring out a hammerhead that likely doesn't one-shot one of these, and if you do, I shoot back and kill you as well. And so it was just very awkward for a lot of time for the Tau players to try and find the right builds, especially losing the 6-inch deep strike with the melter bomb, that going to 6 inches rather than 9 inches. Sorry, 3 inches.
We got one list we want to call out for this event.
I do want to also mention the omissions here. So I think this is some geographical nuance we can put a magnifying glass over for the Arizona area and or Phoenix itself. But no AdMech, so 0 Adeptus Mechanicus, 0 Grey Knights are 2 that jumped out to me as immediately as things that, like, they get taken everywhere else. Why not here?
No Imperial Agents.
No, well, Imperial Agents is like,
well, you got to expect one. Always expect one.
You do. But yeah, Grey Knights and Adeptus Mechanicus having 0 representation was something I wanted to point out. We have Don Hewson. Always love to see what Don's doing. He's usually playing heavily mechanized Death Company, and it is no different here. Every time I see Don...
Death Guard, not Death Company.
What did I say?
Death Company.
What is a mechanized Death Company list?
All the Brutalis Dreadnoughts, baby. All the... and rhinos. But they're throwing the rhinos. The Dreadnoughts are throwing the rhinos.
Oh, I like it.
Sorry. Every time I see one of Don's lists like this, I'm like, why aren't you playing this in a team? This is a great teams list, because he loves his tanks, and he loves Death Company with tanks. So he's got a play company, Lord of Virulence, Mortarion, and Typhus for his characters, 2 Defilers, triple Predator Destructors, 3 Death Shroud to go with the Lord of Virulence, 2 Bloat Drones, 1 Blight Hauler, Mephitic Blight Hauler that is, and then 3 War Dog Executioners, which are the autocannons, they're the Helverin equivalents. And I'm not going to sit here and tell you that this is the new way forward.
Yeah, sorry? Defilers, Predator Destructors, the Blow Drones, the Blight Haulers, and the little baby knights. You are creating, some weird things for other people to fight into sometimes. You're diversified where your vehicles are. They can't put those fire dragons everywhere. And you've got things that can take heat off of Mortarion, which is tough to do.
Yeah, and it all benefits from Mortarion, apart from the War Dogs, but the War Dogs benefit from the -1 armor save auras that are going to be put out by the Bloat Drones, the Hauler, and likely the Terminators and or Typhus. So they're going to get to the nice AP too as well. It's a nice, lovely build, and once again, it's a Don Hewson special, because I doubt anyone else could do well with this.
Oh, but one of the upsides of us talking about 4 events, not to bring you more Warhammer, but we get the opportunity now to predict 4 times what list we think is going to take down the championship spot.
Brand new month as well. The slate is clean. May we never think about it again, because it was not a good month for 2 of the 3 of us.
Nope.
Well, this is the point where if you're new here, thank you very much for joining us. We predict the army or the faction or the player we think is going to win the event. In our part 2, in the after show that we do for tier 2 Patreon subscribers and above, we look back at how we did. Talk about the list that won. It's a great little follow-up show to this one, the main one that you're listening to right now. But it's also an opportunity for us to take some digs at each other for how close or how far away we were from the predictions. And it's been anybody's game. Oh, sorry. It's been any player's game out there recently.
Hasn't been any hasn't been every host's game. And to that end, the gentleman who won last month will be picking last for each event of this month. So each event of this week.
The whole month.
If that said person does the same thing again this month, then yes, we will be doing that next month. We'll call it a handicap, just like a thoroughbred horse who has to carry a bit extra weight. All right, Dustin, what would you like, mate?
I'll take Astra Militarum.
That is a fine choice. I will be taking the Eldari.
Yep. Oh, that's a pretty good choice.
We're trying to brick wall you out, Beatty. We're doing our best.
I'm going to go with Orcs.
Not a bad call.
I swear, if orcs win this,
I would not be surprised, brother.
I wouldn't be either. That's the sad part.
Oh, the next event we're going to be talking about is the 11th Berry Bash from Barrie, Ontario in Canada. I have a little anecdote I want to share about the Berry Bash. Berry Bash is like the reason that I met Scary for the first time. Like I actually talked to him outside of just seeing things on the internet. He was like, "Hey, I've got this tournament that I'm running. Can we talk about it?" I was like, "Absolutely. I love your stuff. Let's talk about whatever you got going on." And the Berry Bash was it. So that was my first experience with it. Almost a decade ago.
Yeah. Yes,
Been a long
he is
time.
the
60
head
players.
He's the
Yeah.
head TO of this and has been for, as long as I can remember, as long as I've been paying attention to international events. And it's awesome to see. Just got back from Manchester as well, the mad lad. He was over there at the Manchester Super Major. And he come back to run a GT.
Yeah, I think a great member of this community, often in our chat too as well. Happy to talk about this event, 60 players, 6-round event. What are we going to see there?
We're going to be seeing in the Imperial Super Faction 2 Sisters of Battle, 3 Custodes, 5 Astra Militarum, 1 Grey Knight, and 4 Imperial Knights. Space Marines, there's 5 Dark Angels, 2 Space Wolves, 2 Blood Angels, and 1 Death Watch. Chaos, there's 8 Chaos Space Marines, 2 Death Guard, 2 World Eaters, 1 Demon, and 3 Chaos Knights. Xenos, there's 4 Necrons, 1 Votan. Hivemind, there's 2 Tyranids, 2 Genes to the Cult. Eldari, there's 2 Drukhari and 4 Eldari, meaning the faction podium is Chaos Space Marines topping it with 8, Dark Angels and Astra Militarum tied in second with 5, and then Eldari, Necrons, and Imperial Knights in third with 4.
Well, this is wild. This
is
meta
wild.
breakdown is pretty wild.
This is wild.
Dustin, do you have any insights into why there's 8 Chaos Space Marine players here out of 60?
Aside from the fact that I know those 8 Chaos Space Marine players, and they all are, I'm not going to say specialists for Chaos Space Marine specifically, but Chaos specialists for sure. They live, breathe Chaos. So Chaos Space Marine is actually very popular around here. Very popular. Almost as popular as Eldar. I don't know.
Well, dude, you're lying to us because they're Eldar is half as popular as Chaos Space Marine.
At least here, right?
Chaos Space Marine is a strong faction. I mean, think about the success that it's had recently, but you also create there's that narrative component. Like if you're a fan of the Chaos Space Marine Legions, you try to make it work.
I will have to say in this edition, they've done Chaos Space Marines the most generous treatment they've had in a long time. For so long, the Chaos Space Marine players have had a chip on their shoulder because they lost the long war, but also because they always just seem to get so much less to work with than their loyalist counterparts. Well, this edition they don't. If you are willing to play the cult versions and Chaos Space Marines true, you have as many detachments to work with as as loyalists, almost. And they're very flexible. They're dynamic. There's 4 to 5 of them that are worth taking to a GT. Probably only 2 or 3 that are worth taking to a super major. But they have very relevant builds, and they're a very extremely flexible faction.
Yeah, they are too. And I've actually, one thing I've noticed in the meta around here specifically, and around here, Barry's about an hour and a half away from me. I consider that around here. There are a lot of very aggressive play styles. CSM have some very aggressive playstyle detachments. So they suit them very well. It's also why we're going to see a lot of Dark Angels. Most of these Astra Militarum, you're going to see a Bridgehead, which is not too surprising as well. Obviously, Imperial Knights, they tend to be a little aggressive sometimes too. So I mean, maybe that's the way the meta is here. Maybe we're just really aggressive. Elbows up, everybody. Elbows up.
Elbows up.
No apologies.
No apologies.
No sorries.
Love it. The omissions here, the missing factions, once again, Adeptus Mechanicus missing from this rundown, as is Space Wolves, as is not Space Wolves, as is Black Templars, and Vanilla Astartes. So not a single Ultramarine as far as our faction breakdown goes. And in addition to that,
yeah, but you got the Chaos Space Marines that had fake Ultramarines. That can,
yeah. No Orcs and no Tau is wild.
Yeah, that doesn't surprise me too. Oh, the Orcs actually surprise me. We do have.
Yeah, the Orc surprises me. The
Orcs
Tau
surprise me.
is.
Tau, not so much. I think most of the Tau in fact, I can't think of a single Tau player that I know around here that doesn't play Guard as well. So why wouldn't they be playing New Guard?
Disappointing.
Is it? You're a Guard player. How's that disappointing?
Yeah, I want tuna beef to kill.
That's fair. Yeah, I can't argue with that logic.
It takes one of my easier matchups and makes it into a mirror match, which is hard as hell. So keep playing the Tau. Anyway, I got one player for us to break down. This is Tim Dietliff. Who's playing Eldari Aspect Host. I literally played against a very similar version to this list literally last night. And went down to it with my knights. So he's got Autark with Mantle of Wisdom, which is the double reroll. So reroll wants to wound on that unit. Fuegan.
As someone who's building an Autark right now, how did they build their Autark?
Don't make me do that shit.
Oh no. Well, no, there's some debate about where do you place the Autark.
So this one, it's very clear where this one's going. When you break down the list, because he's got a unit of 10 Dark Reapers. It's the only unit of 10 anything in the list. So I would assume there's a Reaper launcher on that.
That would make sense.
But I will look it up and double check for you after you guys disseminate it. Fuegan, Janezar, and Lycus, so triple Phoenix Lords. Not taking Azaman's an interesting choice. 2 Wave Serpents, 10/5/5 Fire Dragons, 2 units of 5/5. Sorry, 10/5/5 Dark Reapers, 2 units of 5 Fire Dragons, 2x5 Howling Banshees, 5 Striking Scorpions, 2x5 Swooping Hawks, a single Warlock Skyrunner, and 3x5 Warp Spiders.
You called that out. It is a Reaper launcher.
It is? You got there before me. Yeah, it makes sense. It makes most sense, right?
I had time. You were reading it, so I mean.
Good. My build is safe.
Oh, okay. You're okay. You're good to go.
Well, you got some special sauce in there, mate.
Oh no, I was just talking about like there's a couple of good options to put the Autark with, and in how you build that Autark is kind of determines which way you're thinking. I think to put them, like, do you throw them in there with the Fire Dragons? Do you throw them in with Dark Reapers? And those seem to be the 2 prevailing thoughts. So I was just curious as to what option they were going with.
I like this list a lot. I like the single unit of I like having one big unit in Eldar lists. In Ynnari, there's some arguments not to do it, of course. But I like the one big unit. It can be a big unit of Fire Dragons. It can be a unit of Banshees or Hawks or whatever, or even Warp Spiders. But the one big unit means that you always have a safety unit to use all your reactive, all your, what are they called? Dynamic.
Battle focus.
Your battle focus abilities. You always have like a super value battle focus built into your list to maximize their value. So one
that's the thing, you get to use stratagems? Is that what you're thinking of? Your super balanced stratagems?
Yes, the super free stratagems. So essentially it's 10 Dark Reapers with an Autark that's just like permanently cannot be overwatched, essentially. And anytime you shoot them, you've got 10 guys, so you're always going to get value out of the move away, unless it's like one of the best, Dark Reaper killing units in the world with that, like a freaking Gladiator Reaper that can kill them with a single activation. You're always going to get to like fade back behind a wall after being shot, stuff like that. And incredibly good value for getting around and peeking around walls with the +2 move. It's just really good. I think 1 unit of 10 makes a lot of sense for me in a lot of lists, especially Aspect Host, when you can soup it up with real ones to hit, ones to wound. And the rest is just like MSU, great stuff. Not even good stuff, great stuff.
Jonathan DeLeo is actually playing in the tournament we're talking about before taking Tau, and said they're bringing SMS to deal with Eldari and things like it. And I do think actually that indirect fire is going to be back. Not that you necessarily abandon it, but even with the hurdles you have to jump through to get quality indirect fire, players may we may see that come back as a thing.
I think actually, and it's specifically for lists like this, with all this MSU like low toughness, they have a good save, but the chip damage is scary for them, and they want to hold objectives too. That's why I think a lot of the players are leaning towards the Ynnari, so they can get that extra move. So just in case they have redundancies in place. Okay, that guy on the objective died. Cool. I'll move when you're done shooting. I'll move another unit on there. But I think having
I'll chuck another 5 on it. Exactly.
Yeah, exactly. If you have another. Any source of at least half decent out of line of sight shooting that doesn't take away from your main list, I would 100% include it. Myself, the 3 saboteurs and mortars every list, like just that's it. I mean,
yeah. So the only curious thing here, and probably the only thing I'd point out is the taking of Fuegan, because Fuegan is the price of another 5 Fire Dragons. Now Fuegan does have a bunch of stuff that's excellent, like the fact that I found out last night he's got AP4 on his axe, and I was like, why? Why?
Because when you got to get the chopping done.
Yeah, he's like, just walks up to an armature and he's like, dunk. I'm like, all right, what AP is it, mate? Ready with my dice? And he's like, 4. I'm like, okay, ready with my feel no pains. Yeah. So I still rate Fuegan. The problem is the points cost, because you can just get another 5 something and have some points left over. So it'd be another 5 fire dragons and maybe some points to switch around. Maybe
he gets back up from death. So like
does.
the 5 fire
so
dragons
annoying.
don't do that. And I'd say he's
It's
arguably as hard to kill as 5 fire dragons because of
Yeah.
his 5 number of wounds and his better invulnerable save and his get
And
back up.
2 armor.
So
Yeah, 2 up armor. Yeah.
So I mean, there's value just in that. Like
Mm.
rated points wise, I hear you, but I think you can make a case.
Yeah.
If you're in that situation.
And I certainly wasn't coming at that saying, "Oh, that's an incorrect thing in the list." I'm like, that's
no,
the thing that's the only thing you'd think about, whether you would, what's his reasoning for doing this instead of this.
Yeah, and I was looking at like also, is he trying to fit him in a Falcon or something? There's not one in this list, but there's ways to there's things to consider.
There's 2 wave serpents here, so we could be maximizing in there, like 2x5 plus a single. Yeah, like so it could be Janezar and 5 banshees plus Fuegan riding solo, non-attached, and 5 fire dragons. That could be pretty sick.
Yeah, I like that
Solid.
too.
All right, picking some winners. I'm back in Tim, and I'm going Eldari again.
You.
Hey, you picked first last time. What do you? Well, in fact, you should pick last here.
Oh,
it's your home turf, but we're not going to, because the power of Paul must be.
Oh, that's right. That's right.
I already got my pick.
There's actually 2 very good, very solid options here anyway, and I think one of them Paul will pick. But I'm gonna go with Astra Militarum.
Cool.
I'm not a coward. I'm picking Drukhari because it's Drukhari country.
Whoa!
Is there how many Drukhari players are here?
2.
Is there 2?
2.
Ah, it's better than most, mate.
It's true. It's like 2 more than most.
I just assumed you were going to pick CSM, Paul.
So I was assuming that too.
Players.
I was 100% assuming that, because I could tell
I'm not going for the easy points.
There's at least 3 really solid CSM players there. At least 3.
I love how you can say that. And now all 8 of them who watch this are like, was it me?
Yeah. Yeah. See, is it you?
And if it isn't me, why isn't it?
Is it you?
What's up next?
Next event we're going to be talking about is the Warp Wars from Auckland, North Island, New Zealand. 80 players. This is a team event. 16 teams of 5 competing over 5 rounds. In team events, the same codex cannot be chosen more than once typically. So we have to assume that's the case here. So that's going to impact the number of factions that we see. And we typically see, we think that if over 50% of the teams took one particular faction or another, we think that they think that's the strongest thing in their environment.
Yeah. So geographically, that would tell us that geographically, this community thinks that this is one of the best armies in the game. Yeah.
What are we going to see there?
Let's see what they think. Imperial Super Faction, there are 3 Sisters of Battle, 4 Custodes, 2 Admech, 3 Astra Militarum, 4 Grey Knights, and 2 Imperial Knights, Space Marines, 6 Adeptus Astartes. That's pretty close to half. That's getting there. 1 Dark Angel, 2 Blood Angel, 1 Black Templar, and 4 Death Watch. And then again, adding them all up, that is 14. So only 2 teams didn't take Space Marines. Obviously, that's considered probably one of the best taken teams. I don't think anybody would really argue that right now. Chaos, there's 5 Chaos Space Marines, 1 T-Sun, 1 Death Guard, 2 Rulers, 6 Demons, and 1 Chaos Knight. Xenos, there's 4 Necrons, 8 Orcs. That's half the field. 2 Tau, 1 Votan. Hive Mind, there's 5 Tyranids, 3 Gene Stealer Cult. In Eldari, there's 3 Drukhari and 5 Eldari, meaning the faction podium is, again, total Astartes is technically topping it off with 14, but Orcs is the most single represented faction with 8, Demons, and then regular Astartes at 6, Tyranids, Eldari, and CSM behind that at 5. One of the things that I'm noticing, I love seeing this edition right now, especially, it is anybody's game of factions. Like there's no faction aside from Space Marines, which is almost because it's so plentiful and like everybody owns it. Nobody is really just going into one faction every time.
We might have to change our metrics to like a third.
Yeah, we might
of
have
teams because the meta is so dispersed and beautiful right now that like it's very rare we get anything crossing the halfway point anymore.
But that's even more interesting in a 5-player team, because the 5-player team even further distills it down.
Yeah, it does.
You don't have to kind of go you don't have to try to think around the meta as much, I think, in a 5-player. That doesn't make it easier to win. I mean, I think it kind of solidifies your core list choices
No,
in
Yeah.
the past, but it's pretty interesting that does not seem to be the case right now because of how diverse the meta is. So
no,
it's kind of
that's actually
exciting.
that's a really good point because when you're taking 5 factions, like you're taking the 5 best. Like
Yeah.
when you have 8, you have like 3 or so. They're like, okay, let's try something spicier. We have some faction
Mm,
specials we can do this with. With 5, like we have to take the best guys.
yeah.
So when
Or you have to make a run at what you think is
yeah,
the best.
exactly.
And in addition to that, where you get deeper into it is the team that we really want to beat, or the team that beats us all the time, are going to be taking what they think is the 5 best. How do we take our 5 best that's just a little bit better into them?
Mhm.
And then you
Or
start getting real deep in the weeds.
yeah, and I love that point about what's better into them, and that kind of points out that there are 3 Adeptus Sororitas players here,
Correct.
which is more than we've seen in the larger singles events
Hmm.
before. So I wonder if
Yeah.
those are specific choices.
Mm. Before I keep going with the analysis, I do want to say that it's just really, really awesome to see 80 players in a New Zealand event. It's one of the biggest events they've had in a very long time, and it's just beautiful to see. I gotta say, well done to that
Love
community,
it.
well done to the New Zealanders. I love you all, and enjoy your weekend. Surprisingly, there's no real omissions here. Of course, unfortunately, there's no agents in the Imperium, but apart from that, there's nothing actually missing. There's no zeros here for factions that did not get taken, like Votan, T-Suns, Death Guard, Chaos Knights. There's plenty of ones here, but everything got a look in pretty much, which I do love to see. Except for Space Wolves. Apologies. Space Wolves the only donut.
For this event, team events, we pick the faction we think is going to score the highest battle points. We don't pick the winner, the team. It's kind of it'd be impossible to analyze all the teams in the scope of what we have here, but we do pick choose the faction we think is going to come away with the highest battle points over the course of the weekend. And it's not as easy to determine that as you think, because
No.
typically the teams that are doing better are fighting and getting lower differentials in those top table plays.
Yep, agreed. I know like pretty much a lot of the most competitive players in New Zealand. So Dusty, you pick first.
I'm going to go orcs.
Son of a bitch. 200% I was picking orcs. Damn it. All right. What's the Eldari numbers? Am I just doing the week of Eldari? Is 5? No, I can't. I can't be that guy. I'm not being that guy. Yeah, Astromil.
No, you
Paulie boy, what would you like?
Eldari.
makes sense.
I left the door open. Paul walked into it. It's fair enough.
If Eldari wins, this is 100% your fault, Adam. Like it's
yeah, I'll wear it. I'll wear it.
Amazing. Next event we're going to be talking about is the Italian Royal Rumble. That is from Ningo, Cremona, Italy. Tried my best. I tried my best.
Nailed it.
Yeah, 100%.
Took me a couple tries, but I appreciate your support and your patience. This is 120 players and 24 teams of 5 competing over 5 rounds. This is going to be some tough competition there coming into round 4 and 5 of this.
We don't get to shine the magnifying glass on Italy or some of those other central European nations all that often, and so it's always just a treat to get this many players together in an Italian event and put the magnifying glass and have a look.
That's what I like to see here. So again, there's how many teams? 24. So anything about 12 or above is what they consider over in Italy to be the top factions in the game right now for teams anyway. Imperial faction, there are 9 Custodes, 2 Admech, 5 Astromilitarum, 9 Grey Knights, and 4 Imperial Knights. Space Marines, there's 8 Astartes forward, Blood Angels, and 2 Death Watch. So there's 14 there, which is ironically the same number of Astartes as the last one, I think.
Yeah, hilariously.
Chaos, there's 6 Chaos Space Marines, 4 T-Suns, 6 Death Guard, 5 World Eaters, 8 Demons, and 2 Chaos Knights. Xenos, there's 8 Necrons, 7 Orcs, 4 Tau, and 2 Votan. Hive Mind, there's 3 Tyranids, 6 G's to the cult. I love Italy. And Eldaria, there's 4 Drukhari and 9 Eldaria. Wow, that means the faction podium is technically total Astartes of 14, but Custodes, Grey Knights, Eldaria, all tied at 9 in first. Necrons, Astartes, and Demons with 8 in second, and then Orcs in third with 7. That is gorgeous.
It's actually beautiful. We usually see this the other way around. Like usually it's the top faction is by itself, And then as you get down, into the silver and the bronze position, you'll have doubles and triples. This one's top heavy. This one's actually top heavy. The 3 slots are the first 2, and then you have the single in the third, which is awesome. Grey Knights being the one here to really talk about. Like, Italy just thinks Grey Knights are the bee's knees and are just willing to take them in numbers not seen anywhere else kind of in the world right now. So maybe they know something we don't.
Are the purifiers on the rise? That's what I've been hearing, I think, right?
Yeah, so the Warpbane Task Force is the purifier based one, but what people are doing a lot with those is that they're building really strong defender lists that are using the indirect purgation squads with the silencers. So what they do is they get 3 units of essentially like Havocs, like Dev Marines, and then they draw line of sight off another Grey Knight unit, and then they get to shoot indirect. And because they're going to be in your hallowed ground, they get 4 rerolls to hit. So it's 12 strength 8 -1 2 damage shots with rerolls to hit. And so you talk about people taking gargoyles, people deep striking scions all over the table. Your screens are just gone. Like they just get evaporated because those units uppy downy as well. So you pick all 3 of them up and you relocate them into a staging area, and then you go and get lines of sight and you start picking off all their screens, and then you start dropping bombs, like dropping Drago bombs, dropping Dread Knights, dropping all this other stuff. And that detachment has a 6-inch deep strike strat that you can charge off.
Oh,
and that's the spot.
What's not to love? So
yeah. So they pick away all your screens, and then they start dropping bombs with 6-inch charges into your lines, and it starts getting pretty hairy.
Dorian's pointed out that sounds really good into Eldari, what you just described.
Very good into Eldari, very good into Guard, very strong into like things like Tyranids and Gene Stealer cults and Adeptus Mechanicus. There's so many armies. The only thing it really falls down against is like the power armor equivalents. It doesn't really scratch the paint on Astartes or Chaos Space Marines. Like maybe you'll kill a unit of scouts if you're lucky, but you're not killing a unit of infiltrators with the 6 I feel no pain and stuff like that.
Yikes.
Not bad into orcs either, actually, surprisingly.
That's true.
That 2 damage, winning on 3s, and they don't have a great save as it is anyway. So, yeah, it's not bad. So yeah, Grey Knights. Italy's all about it. So the other stuff, Custodes and Eldari being 2 that were also taken in great numbers. They're not surprising either. But this is a good showing for Necrons, to be honest. Necrons have been a little bit on the decline. They've always hovered around like the top 3, top 5 factions representation, but Italy's willing to go a little deeper than most, it seems, and they were taken by what, a third of the teams at 8 of 24. Yeah, a third.
Yep.
Yeah, I mean, you may have been right on the nail there with the defender type list. I mean, like Necrons, I think settle into that sometimes a little bit defender category.
Yeah, well, we're starting to see a lot of people pivoting away from the Star Shatter and going straight back to where they started with Awakened Dynasty, and just being like, if I pair well, you can't kill me.
Not a single model.
Well, the thing is, because Awakened Dynasty has ways to like inject, res orbs and a little bit more resurrecting, they become a very awkward proposition for Eldar, because Eldar don't have single activation big damage dumps. They don't just walk out and be like, yo, dog, your unit of wraiths, I'm just going to kill it with 1 unit. They can't do it. They actually can't kill a unit of wraiths with 1 activation. Even if you went and took all the freaking wraith guard that you wanted, you still it's unlikely you kill the full unit of wraiths. I'm talking about the maxed out unit of wraiths in Awakened Dynasty with the keg bots and the
2 characters or whatever.
Yeah, and all the additional stuff added on. It's got a reanimator to back it up. It's can inject a resurrection in the middle of an activation and stuff like that. Oh, sorry, in the middle between your activations, and it becomes really awkward. Because the only armies that really dunk on that now, surprisingly, I think is Guard. Guard's the only army that really like can bully those Necron armies. So you just like don't play against the Guard. It's teams, baby. We just dodge the Guard and we're on. Yeah.
But even then, the Guards, like, they're not going to have too much close combat. So the characters that stand back up, you have to get on that objective and kill them.
Yeah. Yeah, but but what that brings to it is that the best units of the Necrons don't want to be standing on objectives, because then they get dunked from reserve with the reels to wind. So that's what you're putting on them. You're being like, can you hold primary without putting your good stuff on objectives? Because my signs will just bang, take them right off. But yeah, then the Technomancer just stands back up. They get a little bit of primary and things are a bit, you got a bit of a game going.
No, loving it. It seems like some pretty interesting choices here that all seem to have a purpose. So it'd be kind of cool to see what the results of this is. Coming out of the weekend, which you will be able to tell if you join our tier 2 or higher Patreon, we'll talk about it. We'll talk about how this event shook out, who the best battle point finishers were. You can also follow along with these events in BCP, I have to imagine, as well.
I'm picking first. I'm actually picking the Grey Knights. Let's go. I'm a back them with such numbers. I assume they know something. They know something about their tables or their mission pack or
can't be wrong
whatnot.
there. So
Dusty Boy.
let's go a little wonky with it. Then I'm gonna go Custodes.
Ooh,
yeah.
And Paul's gonna like Eldario.
Of course.
Eldario.
All right. Whose fault's that one? If you
No, it's still your fault. Like you set the precedent. You set the precedent.
Fine. I guess.
Oh my goodness. All right, that is what we are picking this week. And look, this now is the part of the show where we can just relax a little bit. We've done all the crunching of the numbers. We have done talking about the ins and outs, the win, loss, the records, the players, going to be competing for high stakes all the course of the weekend. And now is when we take a little bit of break to an area of the show we call the Fuego Rapido. This is a segment of the show sometimes has very little to do with Warhammer, where we just kind of put up a series of topics and give ourselves a timer to run down the series of topics most weeks. But I think we have something a little bit different planned.
Yeah, so this week it's going to be a little bit different because Paul came up with an idea that Adam and I really liked as well. Because we've been doing a lot of this best in genre, which have been fantastic Fuegos. But we have not really determined the actual best of all of these because we get off topic pretty quick. So what we're going to start doing is we're going to go through these and we're going to actually go through a tournament tree. But that means we need to get 16 of each one of these. And we need chat's help to do it because we're only going to do 12 of each. And we're going to leave 4 open that we can come back later.
Or when the brain finally kicks in.
Yeah. So we're going to start with movies and we have 5 of the main genres we're going to do tonight and get it ready. And then next week we'll start the tournament tree with these ones.
How are we ruling like movies that cross?
So they can only show up once because later on the winners are going to start going against each other. So we don't want to have duplicates. So when we pick it one, I can pick it at the earliest one we can, and then
like say we put one movie into one genre, even though it might cross into 2, it's forever locked into that one.
It's for that in that category for the purposes of this tournament.
So we're just throwing out the best movies we know of in this genre, right?
In the top 12, yes. We need to get 12. Well, 16, but again, we're leaving 4 in the gap. So in the Discord, when our brains start working and chat can help us, we fill in those gaps.
And then towards the end of the year, we will determine the best movie of all time.
That's when the championship comes. It all comes together at the end. See? It all comes together. All right. You ready for this? I'm ready for this. No, I'm not ready. Now I'm ready for it. First one. We got to do the top 12 horror movies.
Oof. Got to chuck the Shining up there.
Yeah, Shining has to go in there. That was, I think, the one we mostly agreed on the last time.
We did.
Blair Witch Project, I think, is high up there.
You put it on there. Do you agree with that, Adam?
It spawned a genre. It like pushed the horror genre forward, like into kind of like the 2000s. I mean, I was never a fan of of how much shaky cam got used as like the default cheap way to make a film after that, which got kind of, it was nausea inducing. But like genuinely was a game changer. And it was a good movie, like literally for what it was. And the whole campaign around the Blair Witch Project, like where they actually made my teenage ass believe this was real footage for like half an hour. Yeah, for like, only took a little bit, but for half an hour, it's like, holy crap, is it? It might be. 100%. I'm gonna check out The Exorcist. Number 1 has to go up there.
Exorcist,
has to be.
Yep, for sure. Okay.
So we got 3. All right, we got to start churning.
Quotable movies. I mean, look, I know
Nightmare on Elm Street. Those ones are horrors, right? Yeah. So which one's the best one?
Well, the best one is not necessarily the scariest. Like one is probably the horror movie. The rest of them just kind of get sometimes a little.
That's fair. Yeah. Okay. And obviously we want Friday the 13th, right? That's got to be on here.
I'm thinking about the iconic ones like Hellraiser. Hellraiser's a horror movie.
Yeah, I really enjoyed Hellraiser.
Okay.
Is Jaws a horror movie?
See, I think it is.
It's not a horror movie. Yeah, if it's not a horror movie,
you know what?
I think it is.
It's be a thriller or a horror movie, but I'm not doing thriller. So yeah, let's put it under horror because Jaws should be up there.
I think Jaws has got to.
Yeah, that's got to be up there.
All right, how many we got?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So we need 5 more.
5 more.
Help us out here, chat.
Shining. You put that is on
Halloween. Halloween. We didn't put up.
Halloween. Yes. Halloween. Great call.
Army of
Pol-
Darkness.
Pol-
Yes, thank you. That one.
Poltergeist.
Yes.
Poltergeist.
Poltergeist. Not bad.
Army of Darkness is not a horror movie, but for the purposes,
Yes, it is.
good.
It absolutely is.
The Ring, or just Ring.
The Ring.
Yeah. Oh, The Ring. Yeah. The Ring is another one of those that like creep people out for real.
The original Japanese,
But the
not
original
the
one.
remake.
Yeah.
Even though the remake was not the worst.
Evil Dead. Sam
Oh,
Raimi.
sorry.
You know,
Evil Dead. Sorry, Evil Dead.
Yeah, not Army of Darkness. Evil Dead.
Yeah. I just love Army of Darkness, but Evil Dead, you're right. That's the horror.
But what are the best couple of zombie movies? Because we haven't done any zombie movies, and there's got to be a couple in there.
That's true.
well, we are talking about the top. You know.
So that we're at 11 right now, so we still have slack on a couple, but
One zombie movie.
one zombie.
Bram
movie.
Stoker's Dracula.
Actually, yeah, no, it is that. It's just that. I actually watched that like 2 weeks ago. It was still fantastic.
Dracula. Okay.
Is there anything Gary Oldman cannot do? Like, straight
no, he could be playing one of us right now. We never know it.
Yeah, I could be Gary Oldman. He's that good. I don't know.
No, a good zombie movie is it? But which one is it? Is it like 28 Days Later? Is it?
Yeah. Look, 28 Days Later is my favorite personally.
Yeah.
Just because of the acting, the budget, it felt the grimy
Dawn of the Dead.
truth. It's Dawn of the Dead. I'm weird on Dawn of the Dead.
Yeah. Original Night of the Living Dead is. I mean, another one.
That one's actually pretty good. Yeah.
That would be worth considering for sure.
We'll put that one in there. We'll go up to 13, but that's okay because that.
Okay. Yeah, it's horror movies. 13, baby.
Yeah.
Ah,
perfect.
So we still need 3 more from the chat and Discord afterwards, and then horror will be good to go. And next one, top 12 comedies.
Comedies. So
I mean, are we allowed to have multiple Monty Pythons? Because I think Life of Brian and Holy Grail both just
Yeah,
go in there.
Yep, for sure. I can put that Life of Brian, Search for the Holy Grail.
so I mean, like Talladega Nights.
Talladega Nights. I was just thinking that
hell
one
yeah.
too.
Oh yeah.
Anchorman.
Zoolander.
Yep.
Zoolander.
Groundhog Day. Yeah, that was actually
Good call.
Yeah.
Yep.
Man, Bill Murray movies. There's some Bill Murray movies that are pretty.
I mean, we could just do the top Bill.
That would be. We could definitely do that.
Like the comedies gets hard because it gets some of them gets
subjective.
Yeah.
And also
they get a little. Oh, but what are some solid comedy movies?
Naked Gun 2.
Yes.
2.5.
We either that or Airplane. Take your pick.
I think
we need
Leslie Nielsen in there.
Got 2 Caddyshack votes.
Yeah,
Caddyshack?
honestly.
Oh yeah,
honestly, Caddyshack's a good shot.
Here is Idiocracy considered a documentary or a comedy?
It's too much of a document. It's too much documentary.
Yeah.
Ghostbusters, is that a comedy? Because
Ghostbusters is a comedy.
Yeah, I put that in there for sure. Then
original Ghostbusters. I would like to have a shout out for Team America.
Okay. Yeah, sure. I can put that in there.
And Doctor Strange.
Goonies has to be a comedy, right? So,
Doctor Strange.
Yes. You don't know Doctor Strangelove?
I don't.
Watch it. It's a good time.
Maybe I have to. If it's good, hey, depending on how well it does here, I have to watch it to be able to vote on it.
Beetlejuice. Yeah, Beetlejuice is good.
Yes.
Oh, Beetlejuice. That puts us to 13. Okay, we're doing 13.
Did you get the Goonies on there?
Oh, I didn't. 14.
Has to be the Goonies.
We're
done.
Okay.
Goonies.
So we have 2 spots left that we can get in the Discord then. All right. Good job.
And like
Good job,
Monster
everybody.
Squad. It's not the best comedy, but I just got a couple of quotes.
What is?
Monster Squad.
Monster Squad. I was going to throw out Mars Attacks. That's a good time.
I wouldn't put it in the top though.
No, I wouldn't.
When I saw that in the theater, I didn't like it as much as I do now. Like I've seen it.
It has grown on me considerably in my adult life.
All right, next one. The top 12 fantasy movies.
Lord of the Rings.
Lord of the Rings.
Not you, Hobbit.
Hobbit, out of here. Piss off. I'm going to vote for Fellowship. I'm assuming one of you guys is going to say Return of the King.
No, Fellowship is
Fellowship.
probably the
Fellowship. Thank you. Thank you.
And in that same vein, Pirates of the Caribbean.
Yes, the original for sure. Yeah. Do you think any? No, it was the original. The original's the best one in my
Oh, the
opinion.
original's by
It
far
is.
the best one.
You can make a case for maybe 2, maybe 3 as being really
Yeah.
good, but nothing tops like the introduction to that
Same.
Princess
universe
Bride.
and that character.
Princess
Princess
Bride.
Bride.
Yep.
Yep.
Willow.
Absolutely. Willow. Yep.
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 Yeah. Okay. That's another
And
great one.
we're splitting fantasy and sci-fi. Yeah.
Yes. Sci-fi's next. Don't worry.
Good, good, good,
Legend,
good.
Conan. Yep. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Conan.
Yeah.
Yep.
Flash Gordon is probably a sci-fi.
Flash Gordon.
No, it is sci-fi.
It's
It's on
100%
there.
sci-fi.
Is that definitely
But the girdles.
Labyrinth has to count because we need a place to put Labyrinth,
That's
and
true.
Yeah.
Okay.
and there are goblins and stuff. I mean, like it counts.
Yeah.
I consider that. I consider that fantasy.
I
know we're forgetting some important ones. I know we are. We
Never Ending
always do.
A
Story.
million. Yeah,
Oh,
never ending story.
Yeah.
Yep.
Wizard of Oz has to be counted, even though I don't particularly love it, but it's one of the most. It's probably one of the most impactful fantasies.
Highlander. Thank you. Yes.
Yes.
Ooh.
That could be
I
only
mean, it's
one.
Highlander's probably the greatest movie of all time.
Hey.
I mean, probably.
like the greatest movie of all time.
Ooh, Dark Crystal. Yes.
Dark Crystal. Yes. We got Conan already for sure.
Mm.
We're only doing one Conan. The same with all these. It
Does
has to be one of these movies. Is
does any of the
Dune
Harry
fantasy?
Potter,
Dune sci-fi.
do sci-fi? Do any of
This
the
is where
Harry
you
Potters
can make a
warrant
case.
warrant inclusion?
Do Harry Potters? I mean,
Do any of the Harry Potters warrant inclusion?
They're fantasy. If you feel that there's
They
one
are.
Harry Potter specifically,
I don't feel like there's one of them. Like if you took the whole work, sure, but I don't feel like one of them is a good enough
No.
film on its own to stand up with the rest
there's
of
no
these.
time I'm ever like, oh, I gotta watch that Harry Potter movie, that one specific Harry Potter movie.
Yeah. Because there's none. To me, there's none of them that are like.
Kroll. Oh yes, Kroll.
we have several votes for Kroll. Well, I do agree. I love that movie. I don't know. I mean, Liam Neeson as a Cyclops or whatever, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not sure. Yeah. So what do we got so far? List them off.
We got Lord of the Rings Fellowship, Pirates of the Caribbean, Princess Bride, Willow, Conan, Labyrinth, Neverending Story, Wizard of Oz, Highlander, Dark Crystal, and Krull.
What number are we up to?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. We need one more.
I really like Dragonheart.
I did too, actually.
I really enjoy, but I can't sit here and say it's one of the best.
No.
Do you know what? Sorry. You know what? Spirited Away or Princess Mononoke. Take your pick.
Let's go Princess Mononoke. Yeah, I would.
Yeah.
Princess Mononoke, I could watch anytime. Like it's on. Like, well,
Same.
I guess I might as well watch it.
Same.
You know, so.
But like a Studio Ghibli film.
Yeah.
Straight
Good
up there.
call. Good call.
So
oh,
what-
Willow. I don't know if we said that earlier.
We got Willow. Yeah, we got Willow.
Okay.
Spirited Away, then? Is that the one we're going for?
Nah,
Which-
Princess,
no, Princess
Mononoke.
Mononoke.
Yeah, okay.
Love the
No,
voices, like the voice actors in that in the American.
Dude, I love the soundtrack. I actually listen to that soundtrack. Like it's just so chill and nice, like woodland vibes.
Okay, our Sinbad. The original one. Was the seventh voyage of Sinbad. That's the one. Seventh voyage. I love
that
those.
counts. That's definitely something that people like launched imaginations and loved.
Yeah, Sinbad.
It's not beating anything we've said so far, but
No,
it's
it's not. So there's no point.
It's up there,
There's
yeah.
no point.
Honorable mention.
Honorable mention. There we go. There's an honorable mention. Okay, we got 12 for fantasy. We're good to go. We're doing great. This is great. Now, of course, we do the sci-fi.
Star Wars, Aliens,
Yeah, this one's
Blade
easy.
Runner.
Which one?
But we already
Akira.
Empire Strikes Back. I think we already
Empire
agreed on that one.
Empire Strikes Back
Yeah.
is right in there. Which sorry, Paul, which other ones did you say?
Sorry, Blade Runner, Akira,
Yes,
Blade
yeah.
Runner. Yep. Akira.
Akira.
Oh.
Yeah, hell yeah, dude.
Dune.
I didn't even write
Great.
sci-fi. I literally wrote Star Wars. How dare you guys? What was you said? Star Wars was the other one. Sorry, I missed the second. one.
I'm sorry. Blade Runner.
Yeah.
Yep.
Akira.
Oh,
Dune.
Aliens. That's what it was. Aliens. That's what it was.
Aliens.
Aliens.
Because Alien
So,
is
yeah,
more
no-
like a horror movie. Alien.
Predator.
Aliens.
I'm putting Predator there for sure.
Predator.
Which Terminator, if any,
2.
is it number 1 or number 2? It's 2, yeah.
Yeah, it's 2. Right?
Yeah, 2's definitely the best. 2's the one that people like.
Yeah, identify with.
Yeah.
Is
Although I need to close your boots and your motorcycle.
What else we got?
I'm sorry, I forgot what we were doing.
sorry,
I was just going down memory lane of all the movies we were just talking about.
Matrix.
2000
We forgot Matrix last time. I'm not
Matrix,
forgetting
Matrix 1.
Yep.
Yep. 2001 Space Odyssey. It's got to be up there as one of the most groundbreaking sci-fis of all time.
Odyssey. Ghost of the Shell is actually fantastic. Yeah, if you're
It
an anime
absolutely
fan.
is.
Yeah,
Absolutely is.
I put that in there.
And the influence that anime has had on like filmmaking and how many times been parodied. Yeah,
I'm assuming we're talking about the anime, not the real life.
No,
not Ghost of the Shell.
that didn't happen in my world.
Yeah,
so 12 Monkeys is one I'd like to throw out there.
Yeah, 12. I'm not going to add any Star Trek movies, but I will say Galaxy Quest.
Ooh, Galaxy Quest is 100%.
Ooh, yes, that could have been a comedy too. That was a miss. That's okay. We got it here. It's covered.
So for classics, The Day the Earth Stood Still, I would like to throw out there.
Think it beats anything here?
I do. Considering it was one of like the first sci-fi films, it was like in the mid, like I think it was in the late 50s or early 60s.
Yeah,
black and white, like flying saucers and stuff. Yeah, it really kicked off a lot of.
That's 12.
Yeah. Oh yeah, Klaatu Vrata Nikto, whatever.
Correct. Correct. The only other one I'd like to throw out there is the 1968 Planet of the Apes as an option.
That's a good one. But what about like where does Back to the Future sit? Like,
oh, that's true.
Damn it.
Back to the Future's going in here. We're going overboard with this one. Back to the Future.
Can you tell we're 40K nerds? We've got all the sci-fis.
We didn't have a single Star Trek in here either. Are we going to put any Star Trek in here?
Oh shit!
No, I'd really. I mean, I don't think they cut as the best out of what we in the category we've already been there. But if I did put one on here, it'd be Search for Spock. Oh no, what's the one right before? No, the one with Spock dies.
Wrath of Khan.
Wrath of Khan, yeah.
Oh yeah, Wrath of Khan is the best. Like yes, that's the best one.
Yeah. So if we're putting one on, there has to be Wrath of Khan, right?
Yeah. That's the.
I hate to mess with this, but I would like to suggest two additions to previous ones because they're going to bug me all day if I don't throw them out now.
See, we're already doing it.
Horror.
So putting Wrath of Khan on here.
Yeah, horror. Okay. The Thing.
Oh yeah.
The Thing. I would like added to horror. And what's the other one? I just looked up what genres Jurassic Park is, and it is apparently a sci-fi.
Because they bring up things. So Jurassic Park should be on the list.
Yeah, Jurassic Park needs.
We're almost have the 61, 2, 3.
Yeah, can you tell we're 40K nerds? We love the sci-fi-ness.
War of the World.
We already have 16 there now. We already have 16 for sci-fi. So
that one's going to 20. Increase the cap.
I'll post these on the Discord afterwards, so we can kind of replace ones that we think don't stand a chance against what's in there because we have to have 16 for a proper tree here.
Yeah. Okay. Fair.
All right. Now, the last one, the top 12 action movies.
Die Hard.
Die Hard, yeah, gotta have that one on there.
100%. You could almost make a case for With a Vengeance being out of there too.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
It's pretty damn good.
With a Vengeance is fantastic.
Yeah.
That the third or fourth one?
Third.
That's the third.
Okay.
Which one are we going to put on here?
I think you can't beat the original Die Hard.
No, you can't beat the original. Yeah. If we're only going to have one, it's going to be.
So since we got a lot of sci-fi, do we want to move Predator into action instead?
Yeah, I think that's a good idea.
Indiana Jones.
Yes. First one or third one?
So third one is the although it's so hard because you don't get the third one without the first one, and the first one is so great.
Yeah,
and
the first one is fantastic.
And yet, as soon as you think about it, and the fact that Indy was completely redundant upon that journey, because they're all going to die when they open the casket anyway, you're like, okay, third one's better. That's for me. Third one's better.
That's what I think the third one's better for me too.
Sean Connery just like makes.
Yeah, he really. Their dynamic is fantastic. It really is.
Yeah.
Like I'll gladly be outvoted as long as those the two things we're talking about. But
oh yes, Batman Dark Knight. Absolutely. That is going on. Sure.
Yeah, absolutely.
Absolutely. Mad Max, I'd put that on here.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, hell yeah. Yeah.
Iron Man. If we're gonna put the superhero movies, we gotta pick I think one like Marvel.
Civil War. So
Civil War?
In game Infinity War is amazing.
For me, Infinity War is the number one, but I'm open to arguments.
Yeah. Those probably need to go in sci-fi. If I'm going action movie, I'm probably thinking Winter Soldier.
Oh yeah, Winter Soldier was very good. It's the best non-Avengers film, I think. Like,
so which one are you gonna put in here then?
Chuck in Winter Soldier.
Winter Soldier.
I'm with Paul. Like there's a lot of freaking sci-fi in Endgame and
Yeah.
Infinity War, so I'm okay with like I need to add 2 to this. 1, we can't do this without a Bruce Lee. I'm gonna go Enter the Dragon.
Yes.
That was a good one. I was
Yep.
actually about to say Kill Bill. Is,
100%
Kill Bill,
as
yeah.
well. Yep.
Lethal
Yep.
Weapon.
Kill Bill.
Yeah, we got to put Lethal Weapon in here.
Yep. Other one I would say is I would like a Western. So The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly is my favorite Western.
Good, Bad, and the Ugly. Yeah.
Unforgiven is mine, so that kind of.
Oh, yeah. No, I'll take yours. Unforgiven is very good.
Yeah. Okay. Go for that one.
And y'all don't want to get shot. Better run out the back.
Commando is fantastic, but do we really? Is Commando better than Predator?
Nah.
No.
Predator is just like the superior Commando in every way. Unfortunately, it's still very good though.
Yes.
Leon the Professional as an action film.
Oh,
It's
Judge
also
Dredd
like
was not bad either.
oh yeah, Judge Dredd. But you mean surely you don't mean the Sylvester Stallone Judge Dredd? You mean just Dredd? Yeah.
Carl Urban.
Carl Urban.
Are you gonna have like war movies as an option? Because if not, Saving Private Ryan as an action film makes sense.
Well, right now, like, this is unless we want to add another category later on. This is what's going to be like. This is the last one. Oh, we haven't had a James Bond in here. That's right. Action needs to be in here.
I was about to say, yeah, we need a Bond. For me, my favorite is Casino Royale.
Really?
The new one or the original?
The new one. The new one's
I like
my
the
favorite.
new one. I think Daniel Craig brings some physicality to the role
Exactly
that had
right.
not been there,
Yeah.
and I really appreciate that.
If it's not that, it's GoldenEye. But it's up to you boys. If you guys have any
between
others.
GoldenEye and Casino Royale, I love both of those, so I'd be down with either of those.
There's a couple
chat to break the tie on that one.
Yeah.
Casino.
Sorry, Paul?
Oh no, I was gonna say there's a couple. I mean, there's action movies. At least one of those it crosses into. Are we into action comedies? Or but I guess it doesn't matter. Just any old thing that's
Rambo. We don't have a Sylvester Stallone movie. That's right. We do need one of those.
No, we don't. I was gonna rather than Rambo, I'd go Rocky for more impact as an impact, a more impactful film.
Rocky.
The first Blade.
Oh
Yeah.
yes.
Yeah. Is that sci-fi? No, it's action.
It's action. I put that under action for sure.
Yeah. How many are we up to?
I still don't have the James Bond in here yet. We had a couple of votes for Casino. Yeah. Okay. Terminator we already have in sci-fi.
Yeah.
I think we're thinking like big action stuff where there's
1, 2.
Yeah, we're also thinking like impactful stuff because like the Bruce Lee films completely changed the game on action films.
I do think that's impactful.
Huge. Terminator's in sci-fi. We got it. Don't worry, it's here. We would not miss Terminator.
No, you could not watch a Bruce Lee movie and be like, I could sign up to learn some stuff,
Yeah, correct.
Yeah, it looks like Casino Royale's winning out the James Bond, so that's the ones going in here.
Oh, Men in Black.
Oh yeah, that's not bad.
Yeah, that could go in a lot of these categories. Okay.
Mm.
Matrix we already got in sci-fi as well. Yes, that is 14 on action, so I think we're good to go unless there's anything.
I think we're good. I'd really like to get...
I got another category for sci-fi. Transformers the movie.
The animated, yes.
Yeah.
Oh, I was about to slap you if you were talking about the real like one, but now you're not.
No, thank you. So there is a blanket ban on Michael Bay in any of these.
That's The Rock, Bad Boys.
The Rock is awesome.
The Rock is awesome.
I mean, none of them they're all like, oh, this is a good time. This is a good sit down and watch, but none of them make the top 10 of anything.
No. But I'm just saying, Michael Bay's not banned. RoboCop. We didn't have RoboCop either.
We didn't have RoboCop, and we didn't do Fifth Element in any of these.
Oh, Fifth Element has to go into sci-fi. It has to. There's no.
It kind of does.
Okay, we already took Predator out, so we're still good there. Fifth Element. This is why we left the gaps, guys. This is why we left the gaps.
Yeah.
We can grow into RoboCop on here too. Under action.
Yeah, RoboCop under action would be really good.
Which one?
It's got to be one.
Yeah.
Like when they turn his hand into hamburger meat, I was forever changed. I was like, what did I just witness? This is crazy.
Yeah, dude. Yeah. I mean, as a
kid, let
kid,
me watch this.
Correct.
Where are my parents?
I watched that like in a sleeping bag in front of a TV at midnight at a friend's place when his parents didn't know.
No, Avatar is not on here. Are we throwing Avatar into one of these?
No,
because I don't want it.
Yeah,
no. It's sure it made a lot of money. I don't. It's just a parody of like 4 other better movies in my opinion.
It's just what is it? Dances with Wolves.
It's Dances with Wolves, Princess Mononoke. It's The Last Rainforest.
Yeah, that's right. Born
Yeah, it's just-
Identity. Oh no,
Unobtainium. Does that sound good? Unobtainium, everybody, right?
Unobtainium.
Right?
Everyone okay with Unobtainium? Yeah, all right. Yeah, let's stand it.
we need Born Identity. We need Born
I
Identity.
do love the Avatar ride in Disney World, though. That's
Oh, yeah.
Well, I'm putting Born Identity in. You guys can't say anything. I'm putting it in.
Fine.
we don't know what you're writing over there.
Yeah, you can be writing anything.
It's all Mrs. Doubtfire, and
Dumb and Dumber,
which is a great comedy. I mean,
it is. It's a great.
It
comedy.
is.
It's one of the best comedies of all time.
Comedies, old time comedies, now are just different.
Yes,
correct.
Yes, they are.
Yeah, correct.
Okay, I think we've got our first tournament ready to go. We've got a bunch. Well, no, we still. What do you do more genres? So I want to get 16 genres too. So then, really narrows it down. Yeah, we got Fuegos forever, boys. It's great. I love
it. Yay! Yay!
Ooh, the
pattern out the back end of the
Warriors.
show.
That's right.
Is good. That's an old
Warriors.
movie. Yep.
Come out to play.
But that's it.
Allegedly, that was improvised.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, and the bottles with the fingers apparently
Yeah.
completely ad lib. Yeah, fantastic.
Well, that's our show this week.
That's our show this week.
Adios.
Yeah, a drama category. Look, if
we'll
you made it this far, past the rambling of our when our brain fired off from whatever impulses we thought were long buried. Please do not forget to like, share, and subscribe if you have not already. Leave us some comments. Leave us some 5-star reviews. Leave your suggestions in the comments. It's impossible, or it's
We're going to miss
impossible.
important
It's
ones.
probable that we missed one. Sorry, it's probable that we did.
It's very probable. Very probable.
Yeah.
I'm feeling very confident about our picks.
Paul's gonna just unload into the Discord pretty soon. Like shortly after the show, you're just gonna hear him. It's gonna start coming out of nowhere.
But please interact with the show in that way. There's hassle-free ways to show the algorithms that other people should come and hang out with us too. Remember, we do this live each and every Thursday at 9 p.m. Eastern time. If you'd also like to support the show, it takes a whole lot of effort and work to put this together. Please consider checking out our Patreon. It means a whole lot to us. If you're able to do that, it's in the cards. If not, we'll see you here next week in the comments, in the Discord. Good night, everybody.
Good night, everybody.